Suppose a person has a vivid imagination, or he's a mathematician, he is an artist. Can they perceive the spiritual world similarly? And the book of Zohar, to be inspired by it, you tell us such stories about it. It has nothing to do with what a person does in this world. It could be a plumber and a ballet teacher. It could be some great artist or a tailor. It doesn't matter. Because completely different perceptions open up within a person, different feelings. The feelings are entirely different than in this world. And it doesn't matter who does what. We know about Kabbalists like Rabbi Yochanan Sandlar, meaning he was a cobbler. Afterwards, Hachayat, he was a tailor. And there were people who, do you know what it means to be a cobbler 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago? Can you imagine what they wore, how they used their shoes, what they walked in? Of course, it was horrible, dirty work. So what? And he was a tremendous Kabbalist. He left us such writings. Corresponding to his work, he should be a crude, simple person. Not at all. I mean, people perceive differently. Yes, true. Someone like a musician, someone feels more subtly things, someone sees things more mathematically. Yes, true, of course, but that's externally. And when you start perceiving the inner world, then it's perception. Well, of course, like in our world. Nonetheless, there are some different angles and points of view of the world, but that's marginal, secondary. It's like now. We all live in one world. Each perceives it a bit differently. But actually, we can talk about kind of a one single common perception. The reason for which I'm asking is there's this very interesting process of self-perception of oneself. When a person enters that process, he starts to acknowledge his flow of thought, and he portrays a kind of a picture out of it. Say an artist or any musician, he creates music, even though he's a conductor, per se. What is this interesting structure? Someone was given one thing, someone another thing, like a cobbler, another person is a musician. Each one of us has his own spiritual root, and thus he expresses himself differently and feels everything differently, and he has a different spiritual structure, and he has a different mission than others, and thus each has to achieve the root of his soul, and from the root of his soul to bond with others, and to participate in this general motion towards adhesion with the Creator.